Chapter 15. At that time, Moses and the sons of Israel proceeded to sing this song to Jehovah and to say the following. Let me sing to Jehovah, for he has become highly exalted. The horse and its rider he has pitched into the sea. My strength and my might is Jah, since he serves for my salvation. This is my God, and I shall laud him, my father's God, and I shall raise him on high. Jehovah is a manly person of war. Jehovah is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his military forces he has cast into the sea, and the choice of his warriors have been sunk in the Red Sea. The surging waters proceeded to cover them. Down they went into the depths like a stone. Your right hand, O Jehovah, is proving itself powerful in ability. Your right hand, O Jehovah, can shatter an enemy, and in the abundance of your superiority you can throw down those who rise up against you. You send out your burning anger, it eats them up like stubble. And by a breath from your nostrils, waters were heaped up. They stood still like a dam of floods. The surging waters were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I shall pursue, I shall overtake, I shall divide spoil. My soul will be filled with them. I shall draw my sword, my hand will drive them away. You blew with your breath. The sea covered them. They sank like lead in majestic waters. Who among the gods is like you, O Jehovah? Who is like you, proving yourself mighty in holiness? The one to be feared with songs of praise, the one doing marvels. You stretched out your right hand, the earth proceeded to swallow them up. You in your loving kindness have led the people whom you have recovered. You in your strength will certainly conduct them to your holy abiding place. Peoples must hear. They will be agitated. Birth pangs must take hold on the inhabitants of Philistia. At that time the sheiks of Edom will indeed be disturbed. As for the despots of Moab, trembling will take hold on them. All the inhabitants of Canaan will indeed be disheartened. Fright and dread will fall upon them. Because of the greatness of your arm, they will be motionless like a stone. Until your people pass by, O Jehovah, until the people whom you have produced pass by. You will bring them and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, an established place that you have made ready for you to inhabit, O Jehovah. A sanctuary, O Jehovah, that your hands have established. Jehovah will rule as king to time indefinite, even forever. When Pharaoh's horses with his war chariots and his cavalrymen went into the sea, then Jehovah brought back the waters of the sea upon them, while the sons of Israel walked on dry land through the midst of the sea. And Miriam, the prophetess, Aaron's sister, proceeded to take a tambourine in her hand, and all the women began going out with her with tambourines and in dances. And Miriam kept responding to the men, Sing to Jehovah, for he has become highly exalted. The horse and its rider he has pitched into the sea. Later Moses caused Israel to depart from the Red Sea, and they went out to the wilderness of Shur, and marched on for 3 days in the wilderness, but they did not find water. In time they came to Marah, but they were not able to drink the water from Marah, because it was bitter. That is why he called its name Marah. And the people began to murmur against Moses, saying, What are we to drink? Then he cried out to Jehovah. So Jehovah directed him to a tree, and he threw it into the water, and the water became sweet. There he established for them a regulation and a case for judgment, and there he put them to the test. And he went on to say, "If you will strictly listen to the voice of Jehovah your God, and will do what is right in his eyes, and will indeed give ear to his commandments, and keep all his regulations, I shall put none of the maladies upon you that I put upon the Egyptians, because I am Jehovah, who is healing you." After that they came to Elim, where there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. So they went camping there by the water. Chapter 16. Later they departed from Elim, and the entire assembly of the sons of Israel finally came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their coming out of the land of Egypt. And the entire assembly of the sons of Israel began to murmur against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the sons of Israel kept saying to them, "If only we had died by Jehovah's hand in the land of Egypt, while we were sitting by the pots of meat, while we were eating bread to satisfaction, because you have brought us out into this wilderness to put this whole congregation to death by famine." Then Jehovah said to Moses, "Here I am raining down bread for you from the heavens, and the people must go out and pick up each his amount day for day, in order that I may put them to the test as to whether they will walk in my law or not. And it must occur on the 6th day that they must prepare what they will bring in, and it must prove double what they keep picking up day by day." So Moses and Aaron said to all the sons of Israel, "At evening you will certainly know that it is Jehovah who has brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning you will indeed see Jehovah's glory, because he has heard your murmurings against Jehovah. And what are we that you should murmur against us?" And Moses continued, "It will be when Jehovah gives you in the evening meat to eat, and in the morning bread to satisfaction, because Jehovah has heard your murmurings that you are murmuring against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Jehovah." And Moses went on to say to Aaron, "Say to the entire assembly of the sons of Israel, 'Come near before Jehovah, because he has heard your murmurings.'" Then it occurred that as soon as Aaron had spoken to the entire assembly of the sons of Israel, they turned and faced toward the wilderness. And look, Jehovah's glory appeared in the cloud. And Jehovah spoke further to Moses, saying, "I have heard the murmurings of the sons of Israel. Speak to them, saying, 'Between the 2 evenings you will eat meat, and in the morning you will be satisfied with bread, and you will certainly know that I am Jehovah your God.'" Accordingly it occurred that in the evening the quails began to come up and cover the camp, and in the morning there had developed a layer of dew round about the camp. In time the layer of dew evaporated, and here upon the surface of the wilderness there was a fine flaky thing, fine like hoarfrost upon the earth. When the sons of Israel got to see it, they began to say to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. Hence Moses said to them, "It is the bread that Jehovah has given you for food. This is the word that Jehovah has commanded. Pick up some of it, each one in proportion to his eating. You are to take an omer measure for each individual according to the number of the souls that each of you has in his tent." And the sons of Israel began to do so. And they went picking it up, some gathering much, and some gathering little. When they would measure it by the omer, he that had gathered much had no surplus, and he that had gathered little had no shortage. They picked it up each one in proportion to his eating. Then Moses said to them, "Let nobody leave any of it until the morning." But they did not listen to Moses. When some men would leave some of it until the morning, it would breed worms and stink, so that Moses became indignant at them. and they would pick it up morning by morning, each one in proportion to his eating. When the sun got hot, it melted. And it came about on the 6th day that they picked up twice as much bread, 2 omer measures for one person. So all the chieftains of the assembly came and reported it to Moses. At that he said to them, "It is what Jehovah has spoken. Tomorrow there will be a Sabbath observance of a holy Sabbath to Jehovah. What you can bake, bake, and what you can boil, boil. And all the surplus that there is, save it up for you as something to be kept until the morning." Accordingly they saved it up until the morning, just as Moses had commanded. And it did not stink, nor did maggots develop in it. Then Moses said, "Eat it today, because today is a Sabbath to Jehovah. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you will pick it up, but on the 7th day is a Sabbath. On it none will form." However, it came about on the 7th day that some of the people did go out to pick it up, but they found none. Consequently Jehovah said to Moses, "How long must you people refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? Mark the fact that Jehovah has given you the Sabbath. That is why he is giving you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Keep sitting each one in his own place. Let nobody go out from his locality on the 7th day." And the people proceeded to observe the Sabbath on the 7th day. And the house of Israel began to call its name manna. And it was white like coriander seed, and its taste was like that of flat cakes with honey. Then Moses said, "This is the word that Jehovah has commanded. Fill an omer measure of it as something to be kept throughout your generations, in order that they may see the bread that I made you eat in the wilderness when I was bringing you out of the land of Egypt." So Moses said to Aaron, "Take a jar and put in it an omer full of manna, and deposit it before Jehovah as something to be kept throughout your generations." Just as Jehovah had commanded Moses, Aaron proceeded to deposit it before the testimony as something to be kept. And the sons of Israel ate the manna 40 years, until their coming to a land inhabited. The manna was what they ate until their coming to the frontier of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is 1/10 of an ephah measure.